Yo, what up? This is Jay Muse, and you're listening to the Gray's Tap Room Podcast. Snooch to the douche.
Good evening, motherfuckers, and welcome to a brand new episode 101 of the
101.
Tap Room Podcast, the Gray's Tap Room Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Trash Can Tabby,
Yeah, you are.
or the Trash Can.
Yeah.
So excited
Yeah.
for tonight's episode.
I know.
I'm already a half a beer in, and
I am 3 beers in. This
that's
is,
not beer, that's tea.
It's no. Remember episode whatever it was with Aaron, top 3?
Oh yeah.
That is a craft beer. Suck it, Trebek.
As you hit your
As I
mic
hit my
arm.
microphone. So it's our first band.
Our
on the
very
show.
first, a real band.
A re-
Not some schmuck that plays in 3 bands.
Yeah, in Louisville. Joining us this week is Josh and Brian and hopefully Wes of the band Earth Below Us. Folks, how are we today?
Great.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. We're very
Thank
excited about getting into the Kentucky music scene, and we've done a little bit in the Kentucky scene, and so far it's been really good. But
Okay.
we're really excited about getting to Louisville, and we have, let's see.
June 24th.
Yeah, we have June 24th at Mag Bar. And
That's where her brother plays all the time.
Yeah, that's like their home base
Yeah.
show place.
Nice.
Mag Bar is an awesome place. It's a cool venue.
now we've heard a lot about it. Like, it's very famous, and this will be our first time playing there, so that's exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. You said on June 24th?
Yes,
Okay,
and
we'll-
we have 0 Hour. The 0 Hour is very good. I would say
Yeah.
they're like, good quality hard rock, like your Godsmack, that sort of thing. We got
okay.
Hide the Riot and Bleached Breath.
Awesome. Hell yeah. We'll definitely try to make it out to that.
So those are totally Mish bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally rock and roll, hard rock.
Mad
We don't
rock.
really get into the death metal category, but we're rock and roll to the core.
Hell yeah.
I was actually explaining you guys to a couple of buddies of ours, and the way that I heard it the first time I listened to you guys was like a Tool Breaking Benjamin vibe sound, if I can say so myself.
Yes, definitely are some of the type of stuff that we liked when we were growing up was the Tool, Breaker Benjamin, Three Doors Down, Chevelle. We didn't like
Creed.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
Creed's
Like-
definitely a big influence. Led Zeppelin, all the classic rocks for me personally.
Fuck yeah. So, Josh, now what is your role in the band? For our listeners, let them know what is your role in the band?
I'm the singer and guitar player in the band. There's actually 3 of us.
Okay.
I play the guitar and sing, and Brian is our drummer, and Wes is our bass player. Now, Wes has been with us now for about a month, and and it was fun because Wes, is from down in that's Laurel County by Corbin, Kentucky. So this was his first time going to Detroit, so he got to go play a good national show with the Almas and Reign of Z, which was a really good show. And then we got to play in Ann Arbor, so we got to see the Detroit and Ann Arbor thing and go to the big city and all the craziness, and he was pretty excited.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. And he did real well for only having 3 practices before our 2 shows we had. So it was good. It was really
That's
good.
awesome. Sometimes you fake it till you make it too.
Yeah.
I've been,
The show must go on.
I mean, hell, we have an episode called Three Bassists and a Ding Ding Burr.
yeah.
And we didn't know, but our buddies from Florida is a bassist. And then we all came up and we were talking one day on the podcast. We're like, oh my God, we were all bassists.
yeah. I was there was a band I used to be in back in high school. I was the bass player.
And I've been the bassist in 2 metal bands up here.
Yeah.
So
So you guys are all about that bass, is what you're saying.
Well, the one instrument that has always had my heart and always will is I'm like Brian. I'm a drummer
yeah.
at heart.
Yeah.
I'm a
Right
drummer.
on.
Hell yeah.
Right on. Well, if Josh, you get mad at me and don't want me anymore, there you go. You know where to go. Well, I'm way up here in Toledo, but I'm kind of like a hub because if we play in Detroit and then down there, I'm kind of like right in the middle. So it works out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's what is it? June 10th, we play in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Josh.
Yes, and I'm really excited about that. We're playing at Pierre's in Fort Wayne, and that's a real famous place, and so many people reference that around the country. And actually, I think they're ranked number 3 for ticket sales in the country for a rock and roll venue.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
It's a very large venue, yeah, it's 2 stages, very big place. But we're pretty excited about that. We've heard nothing but good things about that. And what's also fun when you get into the touring band circuit, it's kind of like minor leagues, right? I have like AAA ball. We're in the minor league circuit, you would call it. But when you're doing that minor league circuit, you will link up with others. If you do it long enough, you'll see others out there too, which is fun. So you'll like in Indiana, we're playing with 2 bands. One's from Pennsylvania, one's from I believe Flint, Michigan. And then you see each other sort of mix. And then it's funny. It's fun when you all meet in a different state and didn't plan it. That kind of stuff happens. And that's what's exciting too about the whole regional touring thing is there ain't that many of you when you really get into it. When you get to the next, like there's like different categories. Like there's the local circuit. And then when you get to the, like I said, the next circuit, there's, you'd be surprised. It's not that big.
Right. Yeah.
But it's some of the guys who are in like, the pro circuit, the majors, they say they miss these times a lot because like the guys from Metallica were saying like how at these times you kind of see the same faces when you come back to Indiana. And it's like, oh, it's our Indiana family or it's our Kentucky family or our Detroit family. And it's kind of cool. But once you get to a certain point, it's so big. It's like, I can't have all these people at my house after the show. It's like,
I wouldn't want all those people at my house after a show.
but the traveling and, meeting people and all the musicians, like, and going different places, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Everybody's always so cool too.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So how did you guys how was the band formed and how did you meet?
Yeah, let's get into your origin story.
Well, it started pretty much with me and Brian. Like, I was playing at music at the church we went to, and Brian kind of approached me one day. He was like, "Hey, do you want to do a band?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And we started like our first band, and we played a few shows. We kind of got our feet wet, and then it kind of decimated. Our singer kind of had some issues, and then we started another band, and it had a little bit better. The second run we called Falls of Grace, and now that band did good, and that was a great time because that was when like rock and roll was in the top 40 in the Billboard. It was no hip hop or like, and I don't have no problem with hip hop or anything like that, but at that time, just your regular Friday night clubs in America would have been packed just because people wanted to go and everything like that. So that was like some of the golden days when we were in the Falls of Grace band. So it got big quick. And then again, we kind of lost our singer again, and then different things happened. But the Earth Below band,
we've had a couple singers pass away on us, and through the years.
But the
bad
Earth
accidents
band was formed when I got back from the Army. Because at one point I quit playing music. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to the army. I went to go to Iraq, and I was just kind of mad. And then some dude in Iraq had a guitar sent from home, like a cheap little Walmart guitar. Like, what is that
one of
dude's
those
name?
First Act.
Yeah, like, you know, the Keith Urban dude.
Yeah.
Like those little cheap guitars. But
Yep.
and like I was like, you mind if I play that? He's like, yeah. And I played the guitar, and they were like, what the fuck?
Why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here? Like, and so that kind of like brought it kind of awakening to me, like, I do want to play music. And then so after I got back, me and Brian and our buddy Jonathan got together, and the first song was Don't Tell Me How It Ends, which is on our YouTube channel and on the Reverb Nation. That song is. That was the very first Earth Blow song. And we actually recorded the first tracks of that in Lexington, Kentucky. Jonathan was working there as a paramedic in the hospital. And then we went from there, went back to, Jonathan moved back to Michigan, and I ended up moving back to Toledo, Ohio. And then the Earth Blows band, that was kind of how it began, which was 2005. No. It was
no, that was
2000.
Falls of Grace
Yeah.
was 2005.
It would have been 2000, like
7
2000
or 8?
No, 2010.
Wow. Time flies.
Yeah. So we've been, Earth Blows has been a band for
14
there's-
years.
13 years.
years. Yeah.
Lucky 13.
Fuck yes. Yes.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Josh kind of skipped over a funny little detail about when I first saw him play guitar at that church.
Oh, do
Okay.
it.
And that is they wouldn't let him turn his amp up. So he was just up there playing. But me and another friend that was with me who plays guitar, Mike Slater, we were watching his fingers move all over the place. And you know, this kid, he was 17 years old at the time. We're like, wait a minute, we can't even hear this kid. His fingers are going all over the place. So we noticed how good he was just by watching his fingers. You know what I mean? We didn't even hear him playing. So anyway, I just think that's kind of funny because he's just up there riffing off on leads. And
Church
they wouldn't
songs.
even let him, they wouldn't let him turn his amp up. So
I know how that goes 110%.
When you do rock and roll, it's funny. Like everywhere you go, you know, like, you know, there's always the man, you know, and like at my mom's house, like, you know, like turn it up a little bit, like it's too loud, whatever. So I'd be in the closet, like with a little amp playing. At band practice, the cops come because it's too loud. It's like, we've been too loud our whole life. And then like, so we get to go out and play these concerts and stuff. It's like, yes, here's a place where we can be loud and people like it.
right.
Well, it's funny you say that you were playing in a church. That's how I found when I started my band Aftermath in high school. That's how I found my buddy who was our guitarist. He was warming up to play a set in the church. That's where we met, and he warmed up playing Crazy Train. And they said, no, if you're going to play that, you can't play music for us. And I went, he's playing music for me. So yeah. he started playing Crazy Train, and the music director was like, no, if you play Ozzy Osbourne, you can't play music here. It was like,
Well, that was like the one time that Jace and me at
You
church,
guys
we
did
snuck in System of a Down,
you guys
and they
played-
thought it was a worship song.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It was
And you guys
great.
did the whole. I'm the
Oh,
only
yeah.
one. I'm sitting in the back eating, and her brother are on stage, singing "System of a Down." And
I can't remember what song it was to say.
It
Was it
was,
Chop Suey?
No,
It was off the album after that.
Self-righteous
Mesmerized.
suicide.
it was
Hypnotized.
Hypnotized.
They were playing "Hypnotize."
I
I'm
think
the
that's what
only
it was.
one. I'm
Yeah.
sitting at a table by myself, going, "Yeah, fuck yeah!" System of a Down.
And everybody else is like, "Oh, Jesus!" It was great. It was
I'm
great.
like, all these people have no fucking clue what's happening. Like their parents are like, "Oh, my babies are up there singing a song," and I'm going, "Yeah, but you don't know what fucking song they're singing, and I do." And this is
Wait,
fun
I
for
think
me.
it was Holy Mountain.
No, you guys did Hypnotize.
Was it Hypnotized?
It was Hypnotize.
I don't know.
will-
It was like
no,
20 years ago.
I will never forget it.
Yeah.
I'm just watching all these churchgoers
Go crazy.
like, "Oh, look, they're so awesome up there. They're so talented," and I'm in the back alone going, "Fucking System of a Down." That's what's up. I
like-
married into the right fucking family.
It's like when you play it, like when like they ask you to play at something. It's like, is this a Christian song? It's like, well, yeah, it's called "Burn with the Witches." Like,
Or Running with the Devil,
yeah, I mean,
from Van Halen.
Yeah.
I remember the bass player in a church I went to. He started playing the bass riff for "Cocaine" by Eric Clapton, and
Nice.
the worship leader did not like that one.
Yeah, but see, you said he was playing the bass riff for it.
Yeah, the bass line for
Okay,
"Cocaine."
So you know that he knew that dude listens to Clapton. That
Yeah.
that church guy. He if he can pick up the bass line for "Cocaine," that dude listens to Clapton at home. You
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
know he does.
Yeah.
He was trying to hide it.
you guys don't ever listen to country much, or are we all rock and roll?
I grew up into I did used to listen to country, but that was so long ago.
Country makes me physically ill, but
Well,
it like
yes.
the modern country, like
Now, if we're talking Willie Nelson, The Man in Black, Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, yeah, I'll jam.
Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah, I'll rock out
The
to
old
them
school
all.
stuff. Oh yeah,
I'll
totally
rock
down
out
for
to
that.
them all fucking
But
day.
no, literally new age country music, like what is it, Travis Tritt and whatever.
No, Travis Tritt's old school.
The newer,
Yeah, or what's it, Kenny Chestnut?
yeah, that can't.
The meme we saw, the guy thought his name was Dougie Doodoo Pants.
Dougie
or
Doodoo
something like
Pants,
that.
yeah. Very strangely enough, I love bluegrass. I love folk music. I love outlaw music. I love Southern Gothic, the dark country.
And a banjo does kick ass. That is
Banjo and a fiddle,
a banjo is a beautiful instrument.
but no, don't like
But
country.
if you're gonna sing songs about your dog died and your truck broke down and you ran out of Budweisers, I'm not about it. I'm not here for
It's
it.
like Keith Urban. It's like
That,
you
yeah.
can't be
Ugh.
urban and country at the same time. And he talks Australian as hell. Like, listen to him talk, it's like, and now he sings, like, it's like, what? Is this an abomination from hell?
It's like,
Urban?
bro, you're not country. You're from Australia. That is
Yeah,
the
it's
most
like,
not
yeah.
redneck place ever.
Totally. It's just bizarre.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, Keith Urban? You're not even from here, bro.
We're totally, if we ever get famous, we're gonna call Keith Urban out and we're gonna do a guitar battle on Keith Urban guitars from Walmart.
Oh, totally.
Hey, yeah.
I am there for it, front and
We'll
center.
judge it. We'll be the judge.
Yes,
the
we should
judges.
write him and do the guitar battle.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm here for it, man.
I already know who the winner is.
100%.
Well, nobody can beat Keith Urban.
Not without a good right hook.
You gotta have the winning attitude.
Yes.
Attitude.
Attitude.
Yep, attitude, left and right. So, what inspiration do you guys have for your music? Like, what inspires you to write how you write or what you write?
No, that's a very interesting question because it's very random. Like a lot of the, I mean, I guess the lyrics, kind of geared towards like, a lot of the same kind of old rock and roll messages. It's kind of like rebellious, kind of like against the man, kind of similar to that same kind of thing. The Woodstock days, like,
Fuck yeah.
when I think of like rock and roll and those eras, it's like, it's like, yes,
Nice.
But that's a lot of inspiration is like, I watch Santana play. If anybody's out there and gets a chance to look at some of the Woodstock live videos from that era on YouTube, if you've never watched them,
Oh yeah.
Santana, Leonard Skinner, and some of the ones that are so pure and good. There's no auto tune. There's no rehearsing. It's not like it's just one take live. All that
And they're
stuff.
playing from their soul.
Are you a
Right.
Santana fan?
Yes, I'm a
Fuck
huge
yeah.
Santana fan. I play a Paul Reed Smith guitar, and that's honestly what attracted me to that guitar, because I seen Santana. I was like, what kind of guitar is that with the birds on it? I'm like, I looked into it. I was like, oh, I like that. That looks nice. And but it inspired me to get a PRS guitar. And
Okay.
I'll tell you what, if you buy a Paul Reed Smith guitar, you definitely won't be disappointed. Very, very good guitar.
Hell yeah. The guitar I had a Epiphone SG.
We
Looks
actually
like-
have one of those as well.
It looks like Angus Young's guitar.
Yes. Ours is a Gothic version of the SG.
Okay.
The black one?
Mine,
Yep.
See, I had the cherry red.
That
Nice.
cherry red one is very classic and awesome.
Oh,
Definitely.
it was a beaut. A fucking beaut. She was so beautiful.
Josh, tell them what you call my purple drums.
Oh, our drum set was made by Pearl for us. It wasn't like bought in a store.
But what's your nickname?
But we call it the Purple People Eater because it's got this beautiful purple, what do we call that? Quilted maple.
Yeah.
And there's not,
Ooh.
there's only one like it, and it's the full set. So it has, I believe, about 5 toms. We got 2 snares. We got rotom. I mean, we hardly ever use the whole thing. We use like a small drum set a lot, or where we go for convenience. But if it's a big show, we'll set the whole thing up. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
AC/DC, drummer from AC/DC
Oh.
played it,
Yep.
and this is a real interesting
Oh.
story. We're just sitting at home one day, and this guy calls. He's a promoter from Sandusky County, Ohio, and they're putting on a big event, and they had the Monsters of Rock with some guys from AC/DC, some guys with Steve Miller Band, and Hootie Blowfish. There's just all kinds of these famous musicians.
It was
And-
Steve Miller Band's guitar player.
Right.
And the bass player, I think, was from Huey Lewis. Remember Huey Lewis in the News?
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
yeah.
love.
I'm a huge fan
Well,
of Huey Lewis.
They were
promoter-
called the Monsters of Classic Rock. Yes.
And
Go ahead,
the
Josh.
Monsters of Classic Rock, they still do that tour to this day, and it's always different. The Monsters of Rock tour, you might see Axl Rose on it. It's something they bring a lot of classic musicians together, and but the promoter lost their equipment, so he knew I had a lot of guitar amps. I had a bunch of Mesa guitar amps and all kinds of stuff, and Brian had the purple drum set, and he calls and he goes, "We need this stuff." I'm like, I said I have everything on that list except for this Hammond B3 organ, which was very hard to find. I called some guy in Cleveland and rented it for $1,000. Him and his sons came and set that up. But all the rest of the gear, it was what they needed. And a drummer from AC/DC, which is, I believe he's the current drummer and the last drummer, Chris Slade.
Yeah, that's his
Signed.
name. That's right.
Signed Brian's drum set.
Yeah, the symbol.
That's
one of the
fucking
symbols. Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
They got
That's
to play our
fucking
stuff.
rad.
That was fun, and we ended up getting to pick them up too, and that's a whole nother funny story because
Go
the
for it.
promoter then calls and goes, "Oh, I messed up again." He's like, "We got nobody to pick them up from the hotel," and me and my buddy Jonathan were like, "You don't even have to ask us twice. Go pick up AC/DC and Steve Miller Band from their hotel." It's like, we're in.
Yeah.
And- But the funny thing is we had Jonathan's dad's van. It was this
Yeah.
old Chevy van, like one of those conversions, and it had like
All
the
rusty.
blue shag carpet and like blue
Oh.
shag carpet and the mini fridge and the whole deal. And we pick up these guys like from this band, like they were all dressed out like rock and roll. They had some like friends with them, and they're sitting in the back of his van. They look around. They're like, the one dude from AC/DC goes, "Man," and he had like a British accent. He's like, this looks like something we used to tour around back in the day.
Did you tell them that everybody has to get their start somewhere?
Yeah, and it's so funny, the Earth Lowest band, like we've met so many famous people and been so many different places like that, and we're always kind of working towards like we're never giving up. And like Brian said, we've had singers die on us and other things like that, and that's kind of what led me to singing and playing guitar, because I wasn't always the singer. I was a guitar player forever.
And you
so
don't plan on dying.
Yeah, finally at the point, like, Brian, like, we're not gonna quit. So,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna start singing and playing this guitar because I know that we'll keep it going.
Even if we live how many hundreds of miles apart, is it? A couple hundred miles?
How far we live apart? Maybe like 500 miles. I don't even know. I'm not sure.
300-400. It could be 500. I don't know.
But it works out having kind of our Detroit metro base and the Knox County base, because the Knox County base is good because Atlanta is 4 hours. Nashville isn't very far, and we're dying to get into Nashville. I've worked there in the studios, as far as I've also worked in the music industry myself.
Steve Thompson.
And worked on I worked on some major label things. Steve Thompson was one of the greatest rock and roll producers ever lived. He sold over 250 million records. He produced
he worked with Paul McCartney, Metallica, you name
it. So
Guns N' Roses,
Madonna, like Aretha Franklin was then there, like Red Hot Chili Peppers,
many artists.
Like there was just so many.
That's
and
awesome.
By chance, I ended up working for that guy for a while and doing the studio thing. I was a studio guitar player and did a lot of studio work. But the whole time I'm doing this work for these guys going out touring, I'm thinking like, I want to go out and tour, you know what I mean? Like the studio thing's sweet, and I'm thankful I did it. I've learned a lot, but I want to get out and do the touring thing, and so this is kind of, even though we've been together a while, this is kind of a new version of Earth Lowest. We call it Earth Lowest 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it is new, and so it's exciting that doing something different, and we'll see where it takes us.
And then we have Jen, who helps promote us too.
Yeah.
Josh's wife.
Jen, me and her have known each other like our whole lives. And Brian, we've all known, me and Brian and Jen, we've all known each other a long, long time. And we've been, back together as far as like friends and stuff. But here, we all three of us, we're here and we're going at it, and we're really excited about all the places we're gonna get to see this year and play, and as well as releasing a new record.
Yeah.
And we're gonna play a song from the new record at the end of the show.
Yes.
It is top secret. Nobody's actually gonna hear this except for the show. But other than that, that's a preview of the new record, and it's exciting. And this song's called Digital Dragon, which is, I said, our songs are a lot about different stuff, but this particular song is really interesting. We were doing some DMT one night. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is.
Oh,
but,
I listen to Joe Rogan. I know what DMT is.
Okay. Well, the DMT.
I didn't know you did DMT, Josh. Wow.
We had a whole bunch of it, and I can tell you, DMT is like rolling the dice.
Yeah.
You could have a happy time, or you could have a really terrified time. You have no idea.
And there's really no in between either.
Yeah, it's either going to be really great, but I guess in the end, it's you always feel good when it's over. Put it that way.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Now, this particular song is kind of about that. I've had some really good experiences that were really happy and stuff. So I was experimenting. I don't use DMT now, and nor would I really recommend that to everybody. Everybody do on your own discretion.
DMT will. I know you've never done it, but it really changes your whole outlook on life.
Cool.
It does change your outlook on life, and that's what this song is about, the Digital Dragon. Because in this particular time, and this is one thing I can tell you: when you smoke the DMT, once you're out of your body, you don't remember that you smoked DMT. You don't remember how the fuck you got where you're at. You just are there. you don't know that you and your buddies smoke DMT. You're just you're not in the world no more.
Mhm.
Well, I'm all of a sudden I find myself in this total darkness, surrounded by this digital dragon, and this dragon was digital and just beautiful and intense, and it was grabbing me, and basically it was telling me like, "You're mine," all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, "Holy shit, I am dead, and I fucked up."
Yeah.
And like I thought there was no way out of it, and out of nowhere,
You're going to hell.
yeah, I didn't know if I was in hell with a dragon. I don't know what was going on. I was like, but it was like one of the most terrifying things I ever experienced, and it was like so powerful the way it talked to me and stuff. I can't explain it. But then all of a sudden, a white light came on. All of a sudden, it was all white. I didn't even have nothing under my feet or nothing. I'm just in white every which direction, which is so bizarre to not be standing on anything or see anything in any which direction. And all of a sudden, I heard his voice say, "You're okay, and everything's going to be all right." And I woke up, and my friends were laughing at me. and at first, you wake up, you don't know what happened. You're like, "What happened?" I still didn't know I smoked the DMT. I woke up, and my buddies were sitting there cracking up, laughing at me. And I'm like, "What happened?" They're like, "You smoked DMT?" I'm like, "I did." Then all of a sudden, it hit me. I'm like, "Oh, I did." I'm like, "Wow." I was like, "Well, that wasn't even real." I'm like, "Wow, that was."
Did you guys see that dragon? No, just me.
No,
Cool.
But you hear those old songs like the Beatles and stuff, seeing like dragons and fairies. It's like, oh, you could get high enough to see one if you choose to.
Josh, you're the modern day John Lennon without the granny glass, without the granny glasses.
Don't say that. We don't want to get shot.
I'm pretty sure Jen can sing better than Yoko Ono, though.
Now that is a whole.
Anybody can.
Yeah.
Worst music ever.
Our dogs can sing better than Yoko
I'm pretty sure I
Ono.
can fart better than Yoko Ono.
I took a shit that I would rather listen to at a live show than I would go to see Yoko Ono.
This is one thing we were talking about, like, you know, anybody can make it in music, I believe. It is about doing the right things and, you know, not getting too much on drugs. It's like, yeah, have a good time. Don't let it overtake you, you know. But like, if you get out and tour and you have merchandise and you do the things you're supposed to be doing, you can make a decent living without being famous, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
If the thing is, Yoko Ono sold a gold record and whatnot. So that just tells you there's people out there like every kind of music. So
you know what though, that gives me hope for me as a singer. Then if Yoko Ono can do it,
yeah,
I can do it.
I mean, honestly,
at least I try.
I'm gonna say honestly, babe, you are doing fantastic with that Backstreet Boys song "Drowning."
I'm crushing it.
You are crushing it.
I'm murdering that.
You
song.
are so tone deaf, but
Am I really?
you are pretty tone deaf. But you are absolutely fucking crushing that song, especially that note
That's
towards
why I
the
was a
end.
bass player.
You guys Backstreet Boys in the shower.
Oh no, we're
No, in the
Backstreet
car.
Boys
In the car.
live, like out in the yard, in
I mean, look,
public.
I have no
Backstreet
shame
Boys
in-
everywhere.
I have no shame in my musical taste. I've always and forever been metal first, but sometimes I throw down on some Backstreet Boys.
I mean, you're guilty. Well, not even guilty anymore.
No, my guilty pleasure is Selena.
Who would you say is the best modern metal band in the last 5 years? Because that's a tough one. There's a lot of good ones from 10 years ago.
Gojira.
They're older than that.
Yeah,
though.
Gojira is older,
that's
but
true. In the
yeah,
past
they
5
don't
years,
count. But
I like
I'm with you on Gojira. Gojira is awesome, but they're a little older.
I
Gojira-
love Disturbed.
Disturbed is
Gojira
also
crushes
older.
live.
Yeah, I don't think I honestly can say that I don't listen to.
Crown of Serpents.
Oh yeah, Crown of Serpents is
Her brother's
she.
band. She.
Yeah, they've been
Both
around
of your
the whole
brothers'
time.
band. Your
Two of the
both
three.
Of your brothers'
Yeah.
band.
And
The Stonecutters have been around forever.
if you look at metal and rock music, there isn't too much new in the last 5 years, even. And
There's
you know,
not.
so I encourage people to keep playing because there was a lot of people with the Corona, and it did hurt the music industry.
Yeah.
Man, Earth Lois played some of the best shows we ever played during the Corona because we gave the man the finger and said we're not going to shut it down. And I actually got threats. People were threatening me like, you're a coronavirus spreader or something. You're killing everybody or something. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. But I got shut down by the police in Monroe, Michigan, but they're nice enough to give me one more song. So I thank the Monroe Police Department for giving me another song. But so many people were coming out of the woodwork in Monroe, Michigan. It was wild. We played out.
Is that how the song Coronavirus came?
Yes,
to you?
we have a song called Coronavirus.
Nice.
And that's a good one that's going to be up on a new record as well.
Fuck yes.
But
I'm
we
excited
started
for that.
playing outdoor, and we tried to follow the Corona rules. They said we could only have people at tables, so we had 6 tables. We sold them out like a month before. So we're like, okay, we're gonna do an online stream. So we have our 6 tables. Well, we did it kind of like outside behind this venue. Well, people started coming out of the woodwork. I mean, coming from the street because nobody was doing anything. So next thing you know, there's a mob of people trying to get in. Across the river where we were playing, there's people in their backyards with blankets having a picnic, listening to the music, and it was just getting bigger and bigger. And all of a sudden, the police show up and tell me I got to shut it down. But they're like, "We'll give you one more song." I was like, "Well, that was what's up."
Yeah, because that was a rough time for so many people. That the fact that a live show, some music was being played live, that's a special treat.
But people are starting to get, the way they do want to do more stuff like that, and a lot more national bands are booking, and so the scene is picking up. And so I think 2023 for everybody is excited because a lot of people, 2022 about everybody took off. I mean,
oh yeah,
it was. I mean, everybody tried to fight through the 2021 Corona things, and I think 2022 everybody's like, let's just take it off.
I mean, I can think of 2 bands that immediately took off in 2022: Ghost and Lorna Shore.
Ghost has been taken.
Ghost has been around since 2008.
Yeah.
They were just like a small venue type band. Back in 2022, when the festivals opened up, there are children, and by children, I can claim children.
You and Jace went to go see Ghost 8 years ago at the Mercury Ballroom.
I know, but they were just the small venue. Now Ghost draws such a big crowd; they have to play stadiums.
Yeah, they played Louder Than Life one year, didn't they?
They've played every year.
No.
Yeah, they played last year and the year.
Louder Than Life is the largest rock metal festival in the country, I believe.
It is.
And
it's 2 miles that way.
Yeah, actually, it's about a mile and a half right on the other side of this curtain right here. Actually, when it happens, if we open the window, we can see it happening.
We can hear it.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, that is amazing.
It's not super loud. It's kind of like when your neighbors are playing music inside their house.
It's Louder Than Life.
Yeah,
it's louder
but no, those are the 2 bands that I can think of in the past. Is in 2022 that actually just shot through everything.
Louder Than Life sucks.
It is up to you, I believe, as a musician. A lot of people, if you're struggling with the way to play concerts, I think that the coronavirus did teach everybody that what you have you can use. So if what you have is do a show with a camera, do it, because we've seen where we set up a camera everywhere we go. Trying to get better at it. But we've seen where we play a show, maybe there's 10 people at this show. But then online, after the show, you'll see several thousand people watch and stuff like that. But just because there's a couple people at the show, I would also say, like, treat it like there's a lot, because you don't know how many people are watching online, and you never know. So
exactly.
Well,
every show is like a Christmas present. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get. So, like, you're gonna have really good ones in the mix. It's just going to happen. Like, you're gonna, and some of them.
And who knows when you can find your next fan?
Yeah.
Right. But some of the most packed crowds that we've had have been in small towns nobody never heard of, that had like one bar that was like the only bar. And then like really packed out. And you're like, what?
I know during COVID, Lamb of God was every week.
The live shows
once
or
a
the
week,
live shows,
they would stream from each of their. They would from each of their house. They would play a set for an hour. They would play a live, not a live show, but they would live stream a show every week.
And it just goes to prove that if you want it hard enough and long enough and bad enough, that you'll find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't ever quit. Don't give up ever.
I know it's the kind of work that I do. Those really catch my attention, and like seeing how the bands actually perform is I'll find the live videos. I can see them performing and hear them.
Social media is huge.
Yep.
Now Jennifer, she is with Smash Concerts, and they're a promotion company and booking agency, and they book all over the country. And I mean some serious concerts they do. Basically an array of kind of national shows and supporting stuff. We're kind of doing some supporting opening for people and stuff like that, as well as doing all local showcases and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question for you guys. So is there anything specific that you guys are passionate about besides music?
Besides music? Oh, we love hunting and guns. Let me tell you.
Fuck yeah.
Well, I
I grew up in a deer stand.
That's awesome. I hunted my whole life, but me and my dad, hunting for us was, once a year we gotta go stay in a hotel and go somewhere, and which was great, but it was just, we only had that 1 week, and
now I can shoot a deer with a towel on my head.
but in that situation, like we're limited on firearms always, like being in Ohio and stuff like that. It's flat, you can't use certain things, stuff like that. So and I was in the military. I was an infantry soldier and combat veteran in Iraq. Did 15 months there,
Yeah.
and so I've always been good with a rifle. But down here, where we live, you can, a 30-06 rifle, you have the room to do it, or 270 Winchester and things like that. And so we never got to go hunting with that stuff before. So we were really excited to do that, and we put in for our elk tickets, and we're waiting for that. I think June 20th they do the elk drawing in Kentucky, and we'll see if we get to do that.
Brian, is there anything that you're passionate about outside of music?
Yes, Cedar Point.
The theme park?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Of course, can't go there all year round, but living only 45 minutes away from it, I go all the time when it's open in the night, summer, spring, fall. And then the other thing is just being with my boys, my 2 teenage boys, watching their sports and that kind of stuff.
What kind of sports do they play?
Well, baseball. My younger one had a baseball game that I went to today, actually, earlier.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
And my other son, Tyler, Jacob's my younger son, and then Tyler, he's 18. He wrestles, and he goes to a college up here by Toledo called Lourdes University.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Well, yeah. So that's my life, Cedar Point and my kids. And music.
Fuck yeah.
That's what's up. So I know earlier you guys were talking about touring and stuff. I'm curious, what are some funny stories that you guys might have that have happened on the road?
Recently, we lost Wes in Ann Arbor. And,
Elaborate. Okay, so Jen is laughing right now. I need to hear this. This seems like it's pretty funny. I need to hear about what happened to poor Wes.
well, like I said, he's from down in Corbin area in the mountains. So you get up to Ann Arbor, it's real busy. Driving, it's crazy for anybody, definitely. But if you're not used to it, it's like holy shit, this place is crazy. But it was so busy, which is good, like when you're playing music. But at the same time, literally all parking in the whole town of Ann Arbor was taking that day. I mean, I am not kidding.
Yeah.
Well, after we got off stage, we shouldn't have had him move his truck because our buddy Gary grabbed his stuff for him. So and he thought he needed to go get his car. So anyway, somebody took his spot. So
There was no parking. Once you moved, you were done. Someone was taking your spot. It happened to me too when I loaded up my drums because I wanted to get my drums out of there and load it up right away.
and his glasses happened to be in his case that our buddy took with him. So he gets lost in Ann Arbor for
Yeah.
4 hours, then has to
Oh,
stop somewhere, have our buddy drive back, bring him his glasses, and we didn't see him, I think, till the show was about over. Well, we did find him. That was the good thing.
Did he have
You
his
were
phone
playing-
on him?
It was dead. He had to go to
Oh.
some gas station.
Yeah, that's bad.
You guys were playing a statewide of Where's Waldo?
Where's Wes?
Yes.
Where's
Definitely.
Wesso?
Wes,
Yep.
buddy, if you're listening to this, man, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but fuck, that's hilarious. We've
We've all been there.
We've all been there. We've all been there. I get it. But it's
Take note for Magbar, by the way,
yeah.
on that. Parking is very limited at Magbar.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be the outsider in that
We'll
one.
definitely take note of that.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
my phone won't die and I can use my GPS.
And another funny story, and this is back to what we said, like, you never know what to expect at a show. You know, one thing I would say to all musicians is try not to let your personal life affect your show. Like, if you're having a bad day or something like that, try to learn to, before you perform, forget about that. And this is a job, like a job.
Right.
And do your job, you know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel. Don't ruin everybody in this venue's night, because
Right.
you're here to make them forget about that thing, those bad things, you know, and have a good time. Everybody goes to
Exactly.
the show to forget about life and get loud and turn it up, you know, turn down for what, you know. But we're playing this show around Christmas time up in Monroe, Michigan, and it's a small little bar. And the start of the show, there might have been 3 people. So, and we were playing for 4 hours. You know, some of those long shows, it's like, you know, we're playing 4 hours, not many people, whatever. So it was just kind of like really slow. And we're playing. I turn around, I looked up in the middle of one of the songs, and next thing I know, the entire bar is filled with Santa Clauses. I
What?
mean, Santa
Was it-
Clauses, Mrs. Clauses, a few elves, but mostly Santas. And I'm like, what in the world? Apparently that night there was a Santa crawl going on. And they had some big Santa event, and they all moseyed over there after the thing.
That is awesome. So you were
Yeah.
playing for Santa Claus.
Yep. And it turned into like, I did Knock on Heaven's Door that night. The Guns N' Roses version. And there was like 8 Santas hand in hand, rocking, singing with beers. And it was something else. I'm telling you, I could not. I mean, it was stuffed full of Santas. I mean, you couldn't have fit nowhere in that place.
That is
And,
awesome.
Well, there's I know in New York there's a lot of during Christmas time there's a lot of bars that will do a Santa crawl, a
Yeah.
Santa Claus pub crawl. That's what that
Yeah.
reminds me of. I know like around like Manhattan and Times
Yeah.
Square and all that shit.
Of
There's
course.
a lot of bars that do Santa Claus pub crawl. So you'll see like thousands of Santa Clauses
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the place, which is wild.
Yep, something like
So
that.
to get to
Have
play
be
in front of
going
one of those, that's pretty rad.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
cool.
sick.
I would never forget that my entire life.
on. And that's what I would say, like, you know, go play them shows. You know, some people discourage it, but like go out there and play them shows, because like it's all people that can listen to your music. And essentially we're a service person, just like a painter, a drywaller, or a lawyer. We provide a different service. We provide music and, you know, entertainment and stuff like that, and try to get people outside their, you know,
Yeah.
the terrors of the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Do
I
you-
gotcha.
Do you have a funny touring story, Brian?
Did
The
you get
most
lost in Ann
recent
Arbor
for me
also?
is when we were actually playing a show, and Wes said something that cracked me and everybody in the audience up. It was like a silly thing, but he was trying to incorporate the band name Earth Below Us. And after one of the songs, he says, "Can you feel it?" What did he say? "Can you feel it? The earth round below you." And just the way he said it was just hilarious. I have it. We have it recorded on my phone, but I listen to it in my car, and it just cracks me up every
That's
time. That's how he
awesome.
said it. The earth round below you.
Speaking of, we didn't get into that. How did you come up with the name, or like what's the origin of the name?
Well, actually, that's a good question. And Brian's dad actually kind of came up with the name.
Yeah.
Because Brian's dad was a radio DJ through the golden years of rock and roll, like on a major radio station.
70s and 80s.
He worked on Clear Channel Net and Cumulus. He might have even worked on Comcast Net too. Like he worked on some of the big ones. And he has all his old radio recordings at home. And so we used to sit over there and smoke a joint and listen to the old radio recordings. And radio was so free back then. Like people would just talk on there. And he said they could play whatever they want. It was just awesome that, you know. And
Right.
But we got into the Major Tom thing. So Major Tom, I did not know there was more songs that mentioned Major Tom, and there was more to this. Yeah. So Larry, being the radio DJ guy from the rock and roll days, knew all the songs. So he showed to me how the first appearance of Major Tom is in Space Oddity, which
David
is
Bowie.
You know, ground control to Major Tom.
Yeah,
you know?
David Bowie.
Okay, now the second time he's mentioned is in David Bowie's song Ashes to Ashes. He goes, ashes to ashes, funk to funky, we know Major Tom's a junkie. And then he also says, we got a message from the Action Man. So now David Bowie hints that they've heard from Major Tom.
Yeah.
Well, Peter Schilling out of Germany, he makes a third. And this song is where the Earth Below Us comes from. In the song by Peter Schilling, he goes, Earth below us, drifting, falling, floating, weightless, right?
Right.
So basically, and then that's where the Earth Below Us name comes from, is from that. So Earth Below Us is about basically being up in space, what it is.
That's awesome.
And we also did make a Major Tom song. That is on YouTube. If you look up Earth Below Us Major Tom, you will find that. And that's a pretty fun song. And it definitely, I mean, you have different generations of your career. Now we're pretty calm and I think a lot more sober. Like we, you know, we do some stuff, but like Earth Below Us 1, yeah. There's a lot of maybe hallucinogenic drugs done making Major Tom, but it's a fun song.
That's awesome.
But also Def Leppard Rocket.
Totally check that one out.
Def Leppard Rocket also mentions Major Tom, and there's an Ozzy Osbourne song. So if you look up Major Tom in Wikipedia, you'll actually find us on there.
Oh, nice.
That's so awesome.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So before it gets too late, do you guys want to plug where our listeners can find you?
Yeah. And
well, a lot of places, but we got our Facebook, Earth Below Us on Facebook. We have Earth Below Us on Reverb Nation official. We have Earth Below Us 101, which they have Earth Below Us 101 on Instagram. That's underscore, sorry. Earth _below us 101 on Instagram.
See, I love the 101 thing. I love this 101 thing. Like, that's your number, and this is the 101 episode. Like, fuck yeah. It was fate.
The first version of Major Tom, like when we name these songs, a lot of time I'll name them food names and different stuff. Like,
nice.
But the Earth Below Us was Major Tom 101. But anyway, Earth Below Us music on YouTube is where everything is. Like if you want to listen to, we have 3 records, by the way.
Fuck yeah.
Now if you want to listen to all, I mean, and the 4th one coming out, which we're gonna hear one of the songs coming up at the end of the show. But as far as the 3 records that we have, you can get them on Earth Below Us, just Earth Below Us music on YouTube, and you'll get that. And there's the Reverb Nation, Earth Below Us official on Reverb Nation has everything, all the songs.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
And we're gonna be in Louisville at the Mag Bar, June 24th, and the doors open at 6:30.
So where else are you guys playing in the next couple of months? Like, we have listeners everywhere, literally all over the globe. So where are you guys going? Where can they?
We have
Like-
Pierre's in Fort Wayne, Indiana on the 10th, and that is July 10th.
June 10th.
June 10th. Oh, and we're doing the Poolapalooza, which this is going to be geared into the Fremont, Ohio area. Sorry, Tiffin, Ohio area. And that is open, and that is hosted by the band Yesterday's Hero. And we have like 22 bands. It's going to be, Woodstock and country lands.
That's fucking awesome.
This is something that they put on every year, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Now they got 2 stages. There's a pool, swimming, there's food. I mean, it's bring your own beer, but it is a great time. And then we have August 5th in Detroit at the Universe Building, which is going to be another bands all day event with food and stuff for the community of the East Side Detroit, which is on the East 7 Mile area.
Do you guys have a website where people can go to like look up your entire like show list of where you're playing?
The Facebook for sure is the best place to catch us for everything. We have an official website that is under construction, and I hope that will be up very shortly. But we'll get news across that through the Facebook and everything else, where we'll have a link to all platforms.
Fuck yeah.
And we'll also have the store. So everything that you will be able to purchase at the concert, you'll be able to purchase online. So those are some things that are coming up there is, and like I said, we took a break off of 2022. This is Earth Below Us 4. We're revamping and going at it. So.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, did you have anything else for him?
I don't have anything else except thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes, 100%. It's been so awesome. You're welcome. It's been awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So everyone listening, please go check out Earth Below Us' music. It's so good. It's so good. I'm personally they have a new fan in me for sure.
Me too.
And Tab.
Totally.
So 2 new fans right here. Go check out their music.
You can catch their links in this. If you're listening, wherever you listen to on the platforms, we're going to put their links in our bio or
Tour dates,
the
everything. So
the show notes. Haha.
In the show notes.
In the show notes,
So
not the bio.
Look and see if they're going to be in your area, and if they are,
Fucking
buy
check-
tickets. Get out there.
Check them out.
Go check them
Front
out.
row.
Amazing music. Amazing people. So much love.
Not only
So cool.
that, but we have the exclusive song that we're dropping.
You have the first song from the new record that's going to be played anywhere. I mean, anywhere.
So,
Wes recorded the bass last night. Literally, you got it like real early. So it's an early copy of that song.
It's fresh.
And you guys are going to be the first ones to hear it. The Digital Dragon. You heard
Digital
earlier
Dragon.
about what it was about.
super excited. So, Digital Dragon.
What is this place? What have you done to me? You're tearing me apart from the inside. You're tearing
Earth Below Us guys, Josh, Brian,
And Jen, thank you.
Thank you all so much.
And
for being on
also
the
for
show.
Wes for trying to be on. Trying.
A huge shout out to Wes. Huge shout out to Wes for trying to make it on the show. Unfortunately, he was having some technical difficulties.
That just means we have to have them back on again.
Yes.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Next time.
Yes, 100%.
You guys are more than welcome to come back next
Hell
time.
yeah, you guys.
Thank you.
You guys always have a stool here in the tap room.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
Well, since we were 101, we'll have to think of another good number to be for next time.
That sounds good to me.
Well, we will definitely be in touch, and we will definitely we will try to make it out to your show here in Louisville at the Mag Bar on June 24th. Again, doors open for that show at 6 p.m. So if you're here in Louisville listening to this on June 24th, we will see you with Earth Below Us at the fucking Mag Bar, and we are gonna rock the fucking night out. It's gonna be
Come and get tap room
amazing.
stickers too.
Yeah.
We'll hand out tap room stickers.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
maybe have
sure.
some koozies and shit.
Yes.
Yeah, bring all your goodies, set up the table.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
It
We're gonna
is.
have an awesome night that night.
Oh, I'm down to go.
Oh fuck.
Let's find a
yeah.
babysitter. I'm on the phone right now. Here we go.
That's next month.
I know,
It's
but we
so
still have to
close.
plan.
It's so close.
It is so close.
And that is going to do it for this episode of the Gray's Taproom Podcast. Tab, take us out of here.
As always, thanks for listening to this episode. Don't forget to check out our link tree at linktr.ee/Gray's Taproom Podcast 2. You will find many ways to support us. Buy us a coffee because we will be hungover after this episode. You can subscribe to our Patreon. 3 tiers are available for you. Get your buzzed on for $3, get tipsy for $5, or fully loaded for $10.
Don't text and drive, don't drink and drive, and always drink responsibly.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Taproom closed.
Good night.
Bye.